Welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel David White, coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. Senate screens nominees for CBN governor, deputy governors today. Reps invite NCC over Mobat's songs. Plus, Norwegian government announces $92 million humanitarian aid to Ukraine. We'll bring you details of the stories and more in a moment. First in the news this afternoon is from the Red Chambers, where the Senate is currently screening former chairman of the board of Citibank Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, for the position of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN. The Senate will also screen four nominees for the positions of CBN deputy governors who will join forces with Cardoso to steer affairs of the Apex Bank in the next 5 years. In a statement by the media office of the Senate leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, the Senate will screen all the nominees following its resumption from its annual recess. According to the statement, the Senate has also scheduled to screen the ministerial nominees Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim and Ayodele Olawande, respectively designated Minister of Youth and Minister of State for Youth, on October 3rd. And from the Green Chambers now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has urged organized labor to shelve its planned strike, saying the lower chamber will intervene in the dispute between labor and the federal government. Abbas made the appeal to labor during his opening remarks at the plenary session, following the resumption of plenary after a 6-week holiday. He asked the unions to consider the actions taken by the government to address the economic situation in the country. According to him, embarking on a strike at present will only aggravate an already bad situation. Reports say the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) has remained unequivocal on its planned strike, that the federal government has failed to adequately address the challenges caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has invited the Nigeria Copyright Commission (NCC) toward protecting the right of late Ilerioluwa Aloba, also known as Mobat songs and lyrics. This followed the adoption of a motion by Babajimi Benson, APC Lagos, at the resumed plenary in Abuja today. Moving the motion, Benson said that Mobat tragically passed away under mysterious circumstances on September 12th, and his name had continued to make headlines and dominate discussions across and beyond the nations. He said there had been protests and processions of youth chanting his name and the call for an investigation as they marched to a tribute concert with numerous musicians in attendance. He said it was evident that Mobat's fans were struggling to come to terms with his untimely demise, adding that Mobat, also known as Imole Light in Yoruba, was an artist who sang of peace and light. Away from that, the federal government has declared Wednesday, 27 September 2023 as a public holiday. The Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who announced this, said it was to commemorate the Eid al-Maulid celebration, the birth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. While making the declaration in Abuja, the minister congratulated all Muslim faithful both at home and in the diaspora for this year's occasion. He admonished Nigerians to imbibe the spirit of love, patience, tolerance, and perseverance, which are deep spiritual virtues that the Holy Prophet Muhammad exemplified. Tunji-Ojo therefore urged Nigerians, especially the youth, to embrace the virtues of hard work and peaceful disposition to fellow humans, irrespective of faith, ideology, social class, and ethnicity, and join hands with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's late administration in its effort to build a progressive and enviable nation that all citizens will be proud of. Meanwhile, the federal government says it has not invited any world leader to the country's 63rd Independence Day anniversary scheduled for October 1st, maintaining that this year's event will be low-key. The secretary to the government of the Federation and former governor of Benue State, George Akume, disclosed this in a press conference in Abuja. Akume, however, said Nigeria had a lot to be grateful for, including the democratic dispensation in the country. The SGF said the relationship between the people and government in a representative democracy is symbiotic, noting that while the citizens support the government in turn provides security, protects, and enhances the citizens' interests. He added that the federal government remained committed to fostering a cohesive nation despite its diversity. In the meantime, the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo has said that the federal government will invest in the harmonization of the country's data through the National Identity Management Commission (NIMC), noting that multiple identification registrations will soon be over in the country. Speaking while receiving the MTN management team led by the Chief Executive Officer Carl Toriola in Abuja, Tunji-Ojo said there was a need for the country to have a tech-driven data hub under the ministry. According to him, data harmonization is key, noting that the integrity of the country's travel document must be restored through the harmonization of Nigeria's data. The minister added that with the data harmonization, Nigerians do not have to repeat data capture processing during passport enrollment phase when they have a valid national identification number. In another development, the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have resolved to ground activities nationwide from October 3rd, 2023, following what the labour unions tagged as a result of government to successfully implement policies to alleviate the sufferings of Nigerians following the removal of subsidy on premium motor spirit. Reports say the NLC National President, Joe Ajaro, during a virtual National Executive Council meeting, which was held on Zoom, today told members of NEC that a meeting was held with the officials of the TUC to deliberate on ways forward. Ajaro noted that it was resolved that the two centers work together to make their stance known to the government. A source who was present at the meeting noted that some members of the NLC initially objected to the development of the NLC working together with the TUC. On judicial matters, the Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal in Cross River State has struck out the petition of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and its candidate, Sunday Onor, against the election of Basio II of the All Progressives Congress (APC). According to the judgment delivered by the panel, the petition was dismissed for lacking merit. The PDP candidate challenged the declaration of O2 by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) as the winner of the March 18 poll in South State. The result announced by INEC put O2's tally of votes at 258,619, while Onor reportedly polled 179,636. Reports say the APC candidate won in 15 local government areas of 18 local government areas declared by the Commission in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. Meanwhile, the Gombe State Governorship Election Petitions Tribunal has struck out the petition filed by African Democratic Congress (ADC) against Governor Inuwa Yahaya and his deputy Manasseh Daniel of the All Progressives Congress (APC). The ADC was challenging the declaration and return of Yahaya over alleged multiplicity and variations in the arrangement of names on a certificate of his deputy without accompanying affidavit saying the ticket was rendered invalid. The court struck out the case, saying it was a pre-election matter and the deputy had met the minimum certificate requirement to run. The ADC also alleged instances of corrupt practices in massive vote buying, which had been struck out by the tribunal for lack of proof. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Omono has recommended the Arise Agenda Education Model as a ready solution for Nigeria's education sector challenges, as it captures basic education as a guaranteed roadmap to achieving the Sustainable Development Goal 4. The state governor met the recommendation while addressing the National Basic Education in Nigeria Bootcamp Ben B Summit, with the theme improving access